Hello, everybody, and welcome. The Silly Goose here, and I am happy to bring you this very quick repartee deck. This is it's beautiful chef's kiss aggro, and it's deceptively quick as well. You can really turn one over on your opponents. It's a higgledy-piggledy list, as you can see. It's because I open packs on when the set released, and this is what I built from what I got from those packs. That's why this was the first deck. It was almost like a pseudo draft in a way. These were the things I pulled. Obviously not the Preacher of the Schisms and Avatar's Wrath and stuff, but the new cards are the ones that I pulled. And it was a very fun deck to play, so I'll get into it. We focus around the repartee mechanic, and at 1 mana we have two really good cards for that. We've got 4 Lecturing Score Mage. It's a 1 mana 1/1 with Repartee, which is whenever you cast an international sorcery that targets a creature, something happens. And in this instance, it's put +1/+1 counter on this creature. So fire removal at your opponent, this gets bigger. You know, giving this a boost from something that you've cast, it gets bigger. So they all do something when you cast a instant sorcery. Graduation Day is another version of Lecturing Score Mage, but it's an enchantment instead of a creature. It's 1 white, and you put a +1 counter on target creature you control, so it can spread the love. Other repartee cards in the deck are the Informed Inkwright, which is a lovely card that we're going to see a lot of in Standard, I think. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with Vigilance, and it's got Repartee, and you create a 1/1 black and white Inkling creature token with flying. So wonderful. Again, chef's kiss. The ability to create flying tokens is really good for dragging games out. We've got Melancholic Poet, which is a 2 mana 2/2, and whenever you repartee, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. Just a nice little bit of reach there. You don't have to attack in if you've got this on, as long as you're targeting things and target, you will get this trigger, and it's just that little bit of drip feed life every now and again. And rounding off the repartee cards in the deck, we've got Scolding Administrator. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with Menace, and whenever you do the repartee thing, this gets a +1/+1 counter. The difference between this and Lecturing Score Mage is when this dies, you put its counters on another target creature. So it's a bit like an Essence Channeler. You might notice the other creature in the deck, which is Preacher of the Schism. We're attacking a lot in this deck. It's already got a keyword and it wants to attack, so it just made sense that it came in, and it's probably, other than maybe Unstoppable Slasher, although I would argue this is better than Unstoppable Slasher because it does more other than just scare the shit out of your opponents. But you can draw a card or you can gain tokens. So, and those tokens have lifelink, which is very important. It's just a nice little card. So the other creatures in the deck are the creatures that come in prepared. So they are a spell on one side and a creature on the other. So like a reverse adventure, which is very important for repartee. Elite Interceptor is one of those. She's a 1 mana 1/2, and she enters prepared, and you can cast her sorcery side, which is Rejoined. You may tap or untap target permanent or creature, and you draw a card. So 2 mana, draw a card. We'll take that every day. It triggers all the repartee things, just to let you know. Again, Cruel Blade Laureate. Laureate is a 2 mana 1/1 with double strike. Again, it enters prepared, and its sorcery side is 2 mana, 1 and a white, and target creature gets +1/+0 and gains double strike into Land of Town, which is a very nice little bonus to have. In terms of removal, because every deck needs removal, we've got 3 Erode, which is, stop me if you've heard this one before, destroy a target creature, its controller may search its library for a basic planes, or a basic card, sorry, and put it onto the battlefield tapped, except this destroys planeswalkers as well. So it's a strictly better, not Swords to Plowshares, the other one. It will be on screen probably. The other pieces of removal are Get Lost, which is we've got 3 of because it's probably still the best removal spell in white. We've also got Rapier Wit, which isn't removal as such, but it is interaction. It's 1 and a white. Tap target creature. If it's your turn, put a stun counter on it and you draw a card. So it's another one of these cool little draw a card, do something. And then pseudo removal, although it doesn't really count, it's more protection, but I like it as removal, is Maximum Overdrive, which is 1 and a black. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains Death Touch and Indestructible into Land of Turn. So, you know, can surprise our opponent in attacks or blocks with that. that brings me neatly onto the spells that target our own creatures. So in 1 mana, we've got Dig Site Inventory, which is put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains Vigilance until end of turn, and it has a flashback for the same as its casting cost, so 1 white. So you get 2 cracks at this. We've got Enter the Avatar State, which is a 1 mana protection spell. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes an avatar in addition to its other types and gains Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, and Hexproof. So this is in the deck ahead of something like Restoration Magic, which is in the sideboard, because it can be used offensively as well as defensively. And I was finding that over the games that I played, it was much better to have access to something like this that wouldn't die and rot in my hand, because if I wanted to close the game, boom, 1 mana, gives something Flying, First Strike, Lifelink, and Hexproof, poke him for a lot of damage. So it won me over. We've also got Killian's Confidence, which is a 2 mana white and a black. Target creature gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Draw a card, and whenever one or more creatures you control do combat damage to a player, you may pay a hybrid Orzhov. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So again, just means we can cycle this spell. We're going to be attacking anyway, so there's a good chance that we're going to be dealing combat damage. And then Cost of Brilliance, which is both a card draw spell and a pump spell. It's the 3 mana sorcery, 2 and a black. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life, and I can put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. I think we used this to kill ourselves a couple of times in futile situations. But the last card in the main deck, at least, is probably my favourite piece of interaction for this deck, and that's Avatar's Wrath, because this targets a creature, so it triggers Repartee. So it's a board wipe that also happens to trigger everything that our deck wants to trigger. So very, very happy to have it. In terms of the land, nice and simple here. We've got 4 plains, 3 swamps, 2 Bleachbone Verge, 2 Concealed Courtyard, 4 Godless Shrine, and 4 Shattered Sanctum. Moving on to the sideboard quickly, all of our games were over somewhat speedily, so we didn't really have much chance to see if our sideboard worked or didn't work, because the games were over before that point. There were a couple where we just refused to die, and then ended up dying anyway, so they got dragged out for a little bit longer. But the sideboard, I think, could do with some work, and I will bring you a more up-to-date version of this list later on in the season, because I have really enjoyed this and I will continue to work on it. The sideboard for now is a 3 of Requisition Raid. It's just a really lovely piece of removal that also happens to pump the team. It doesn't target, so it doesn't trigger Repartee, but it's just, for 4 mana, you can kill 2 things and put a +1/+1 counter on everything. So that seems pretty good. We've got 2 Restoration Magic. Like I said, this was in the main board, and the Avatar State was in the sideboard to start off with, but I've switched them around because whilst it's a very good protection spell that does gain us life, I can't use it unless they're targeting, this creature or any creature. Masterful Flourish is just a 1 of in the deck. It's a 1 black mana. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Just does what it says on the tin. 3 Rest in Peace, because I think Rest in Peace is honestly the best piece of graveyard hate that we have available in the format, especially in white. We've got 3 in Spectacular Tactics, which is both a removal spell and a protection spell, as well as a combat trick. So, there's 3 things that we want. You can choose one, and you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control against hexproof until end of turn, or you can destroy target creature with power 4 greater. So no matter what you choose on this, it's going to trigger a Repartee. We've got 2 Death in the Family. It's a 2 mana instant. Exile target creature with mana value 3 or less. It's just to give us a bit more removal against those particularly creature heavy decks. And then last but not least, a 1 of Silver Quill Charm, because I wanted to see how it would work. And to be quite honest, it did okay in the games that I played. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys will too. The games are good, they're quick, nice little pieces of interaction and discovering as we go along. So if you do enjoy the deck, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It would massively help me out. And as you guys know, this goose would really, really love some bread. So if you could throw some my way, I would be very, very thankful. So without further ado, grab yourself a drink, lock in, and let's get on with the games. Maybe just a mono black list. will do. But we're opening ourselves up for a board wipe here, but let's just throw a load of creatures onto the battlefield and see if we can make our opponent come up with something. This deck falls to pieces against a Voice of Victory. Well, let's just get lost that, saving all of our spell on this guy, Interceptor. Right, they play another land. Enduring Innocence, okay. Right, let's tap you, get some counters, draw a card, yep. Dig Sight, okay. They're down to 7, so they're going to need to do something pretty sharpish to be able to survive here. If it's your turn, put a stun counter on it. Okay, Super Shredder, nice. Super Shredder is very, very nice. Sheltered by Ghosts, something along those lines. Oh, nope. Oh, a Sephiroth. They're going to stick a load of counters on the Super Shredder. Yep, 5 power. But let's stick a stun counter on it. We still don't draw land, which is very frustrating. They go down to 4. Their Super Shredder can't attack this turn, and their Sephiroth can't sacrifice anything. So we've got them on the ropes a little bit here. I don't know if... okay. Okay. Well, we just need to get through for damage. So, I mean, we win anyway. We don't need to do anything too spectacular, but let's do so anyway, just to prove that we've got it. Oh, we draw a land. Let's dig site inventory. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see.
And it's gone.
That was it wasn't quick. Opponent didn't really do much. We have a Lecturing Scorn Mage in our opening hand. 2 Erodes, a Restoration Magic, a Rapier Wit, and a Snooping Page. We can't actually kill the Voice of Victory, so that's very upsetting. Feather of Flight, nice. We will kill the Voice of Victory with the Get Lost, probably. If it's your turn, put a stun counter on it. Well, there's no point in doing that now. Let's swing on in for 2. I like this Lecturing Scorn Mage. I think this would be just good in a mono black deck, to be quite honest. Cost of Brilliance. Let's draw 2 cards and put +1/+1 counter. We draw a Seam Rip and an Avatar's Wrath, which is not bad. Nothing again. Okay, well. That's kind of put us in a sticky situation still. Let's play the Snooping Page, because there's nothing for us to target with anything, unfortunately. A Nightblade Brigade. They surveil. He's got Death Touch, so we will tap him down. Put stun counter on him, draw a card. That will put us up to... Yep, an Enduring Innocence next turn. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Let's just erode in our end step. They can't block, they get a land, but they've got no creatures. We probably could have Seam Ripped it as well. No, we couldn't actually. It's a Shattered Sanctum. You gain 3 life, hexproof and indestructible. Let's just swing in for 5, 6, 7. Get another Erode. We draw a card and lose a life. Well, whatever they put down, we're going to be able to deal with. Did they put the Enduring Innocence in their graveyard? They did not. Where is it from the top of their library then? Nightblade. Sure. Good game, buddy. This has been a... We will tap you down. Gain a life. We will erode the other one. Yeah. This is how I wanted the deck to work. Despite us literally just throwing this together, this has produced a decent enough result here, to be quite honest. Against Frosty 1199 the Virtuous. Thank you for your sacrifice, good sir. I don't know why I'm so tired. We will take that. Let's play Graduation Day to start off with. If only we had Feather in the format, it would be beautiful. Oh, they actually play a tapped land to start off with. Yeah, let's go Lecturing Scorn Mage, because we can. Oh, okay, they play a tap land again. Let's play Lecturing Scorn Mage and Graduation Day. Double the counters. Please play creature so I can erode it. Ah, they are just keeping mana up, okay. Well, if we... Let's just swing in for 2. We don't need to go crazy here. We've got erode at a single mana at instant speed, so we're not too worried, chat. We're not too worried. I don't know what they're doing over there. Taser. We will erode. Put a counter on some creatures. We're hitting for 5 next turn. The Restoration Magic is an alright card. But does it do what we want it to do? We need to be able to do offense and defense in the same breath, and Restoration Magic doesn't do offense. But this could be a good use of it here. They can become indestructible. Let's make it indestructible just in case they try to board wipe. We'll put a counter on you. What are you going to do? We'll make it indestructible in case they board wipe. No Priest of Oblivion. If we... Will that do it? 5, 6. No, it won't do it. But it will put a counter on... Yeah, take action. We gain... Hang on. Oh, no, that's a different one. Well, they're down to 2. But they'll be up to 4. Should we have kept Restoration? That's very upsetting. But we've got Lecturing Scour Mage. Let's play Graduation Day as well. We might eke through here, chat. Weeping Willow. Oh, 1/4 with Vigilance. Oh, with Lifelink, sorry. They return the Taser. I think we might have this here with the Avatar's Wrath. Because we choose a creature. Yeah.
And it's gone.
Good game. Well, that worked out fucking excellently. That was lovely. Swap out the Restoration Magics. Whatever. No creature. No creature. We'll keep. I don't know what our opponent is, so I'm not sure if it's going to be a good idea to keep a no creature hand. Ah, it is a Shredder. Is it Shredder? Dark Leo and Shredder, yeah. Melancholic Poet. Well, has he got Death Touch? He doesn't. So let's play Melancholic Poet. Are you just a ninjas deck? And you're just probably going to kill the Melancholic Poet. But that's okay, to be honest. It's not okay, really. All things considered. We won't block. You going to sneak a creature in? Nope. Create an assassin or a ninja. Right, let's get lost their Dark Leo and Shredder. Deal a damage to them. Are they going to... Divine Resilience. Target creature gets indestructible if this was kicked instead any number of target creatures. Oh, okay. Okay, let's, in that case, target opponent, +1/+1, -1/-1. Let's try and deal with their board somewhat. Yeah. Next turn we will Killian's Confidence. Although I assume they're just going to block. Yep, swing in. Oh, create a load of ninjas. We probably shouldn't have done that like that, because now... Let's give him +1/+1, draw a card. It's a race, you see. They're going to sneak in. Yeah, sneak in Dark Leo and Shredder. Sure. We lose half of our life total rounded down. Okay. We don't have enough mana this turn to Avatar's Wrath and Killian. So let's just Avatar's Wrath. Getting rid of all of their creatures that they've worked so hard for. Punch them in the face for 2. We've not done too badly considering we've only got the 1 creature. You should probably just kill the poet at this point. We've bricked with lands. Another land, which is not really what we want. But we will Killian's Confidence. Swing. It's all land in our hand, bro. What a disgusting Set of draws. Ah, they did get a creature. They did get another land. Well, you're on 3 life, so you're going to be on 2 life if we manage to target our creature a couple of times. I'd love to be able to kill them with just Melancholic Poets. At the beginning, return it. Cool. Oh, the Inkwright. Let's play the Inkwright. Let's play the Poet. We draw a card. Yeah, we win. Good game, bro. This is absolutely disgusting. This is so good. I love this. This has made me so happy. Keep. Godless Shrine untapped. For a budget deck, this is actually done. I say budget, it's budget in as far as we've just built it with what we could build. Kitsune's Technique. Pay 2 life. Elite Interceptor. We'll get down the Informed Inkling next. Yeah, Dark Shredder and Leo. We won't get down the Rapio next, actually. Because we can't. Put a +1/+1 counter on it, it gains Vigilance until end of turn. Flashback Flying. Do we want to give it +1/+1? There's no point. What 1-drop creature could be better in this slot? I don't think there is a creature that could be better in this slot. A Rakdos deck. A Rakdos Repartee deck wouldn't be terrible. Yep, they get a creature. Sure. It untapped for them. Splinter. Nice. Well, we need to kill the Dark Shredder and Leo. I don't think we have a way of doing that, though. So we might be a little bit screwed. Just a little bit screwed. Let's play the Informed Inkwright, and then let's shove a counter on the Interceptor so we can create a 1/1. They have flying, these Inkling tokens. I mean, just this. Requisition Raid, nice. Sure, we will block. Let's block and kill the Dark Shredder and Leo, if we can. Yeah, and Dying Malice, nice. Well, that screws us. Dig Site again. Good game. We need an Avatar's Wrath, really. But they're gonna... Yeah, we'll block you, and we won't block the others. We go down to 4. Restoration Magic isn't going to do it for us. So let's just wrap your wit there. We get a 1/1. We tap down the Splinter and put a counter on it. And then we will pass. I don't know what we're going to do here, to be honest. We needed some more removal and we didn't get it. It happens. We've had a really nice little run in these last few games. Sure. Gains first strike, lifelink. Right. Let's see what this does. Because we can use this defensively, because it has first strike, so we can... We're slowly clawing it back. Not very quickly, and not very well either. But it has lifelink and first strike. So we're slowly putting creatures out. Dig Site Inventory is not a bad card to have in the flashback slot here either. Because we can put some +1/+1 counters on our flyers. We're going to kill, hopefully kill, yep. Up to 7. Yep, the Shredder. They go up by 2. Right, do we want to double Dig Site and get 2 more 1/1s? I think that might be the play here. Yeah, let's get a +1/+1 on you, a +1/+1 on you. Swing with both. Just swing with the one, actually. What are you going to do now? We've held on a lot longer than I thought we would in this game, to be honest. if we get through this unscathed, next turn I'm going to Cost of Brilliance. Try and draw some cards. Shredder's Technique. Yeah, we should have left up Restoration Magic. 2. We have to block both. Yep. Now we're screwed. Whenever you can't put +1/+1 counter on this creature, yeah. Do we want to put the Interceptor down? Let's just kill the Darkshire in Leo. I don't really care too much about the 3 life that we're going to be losing. We have Restoration Magic where we can gain some life back. The Informed Inkwright is a very, very good little card. I'm very, very pleased with it. Very, very happy. Very, very happy indeed with how this has turned out, to be quite honest with you, considering, like I keep saying, chat, that we've... Are you going to sneak something in? Gain 2 life, yep. The last Ronin's Technique. Ah, nice. Please be an Avatar's Wrath. Oh, it can't be an Avatar's Wrath, can it? I mean, we can get some blockers out, but that's not going to help us. I think this is a good game here. Let's get the Poet down, and let's get the Interceptor down. But we held on. I can and probably will kill the Splinter. Yeah, I can't kill the Splinter. We will take 3. A very risky 3. Pain 101. Sure. Gains 2 life. Yep. Will Cost of Brilliance to kill ourselves. Of course, we draw the land now. And we draw the Avatar's Wrath, lol.